happened in astrology when Pluto became not a planet anymore? Nothing. We'll always call it a planet, the same way we call the sun and the moon planets. A little snub like that doesn't matter much to the god of the dead. What signs are compatible with each other? This question starts off with two answers, one in theory and one in practice. In theory, all the signs in the same element are considered compatible because they make a harmonious triangle in the chart. So all the earth signs understand each other, and all the air signs do too. The problem in real life is that the air signs tend to bore each other. And when Earth gets together with Earth, neither one of them lights the fire, so they sit and spin. In real life, the most incompatible signs get together. Taurus and Sag, for instance, are drawn like magnets. Taurus needs that Sagittarian adventure, and Sag needs Taurus's stability. And of course, Sag complains that Taurus is a stick in the mud, and Taurus thinks that Sag is crazy, but you find them pairing up constantly. Or how about the worst match in the world, Scorpio and Aquarius? But you find them there at the altar time and time again. Aquarius can't stand how intense the Scorpion is. They never let anything go. It's all so personal and subjective. You can't have a logical conversation with someone so emotional. And from Scorpio's point of view, Aquarius might as well be a robot. They're so fake, trying to think themselves out of their emotional pain. It's a fear of intimacy. They're cowards. You see, they come at life from totally different perspectives. Scorp senses and perceives its way through, while Aquarius thinks its way through. And that's why they keep finding each other. The two of them together give a whole picture. Having a partner is like having another set of eyes. An Aquarius brings in a perspective that Scorpio would never have otherwise. And when you get together, you suddenly have another lifetime worth of experience alongside you. When Taurus is with Sag, they don't just get another lifetime of experience, they get a lifetime in which adventure and freedom were top priorities. Compatibility looks good on paper. In theory, the sextiles and trines are good. Squares and inconjunctions are problematic. In reality, we may need the pressure of a partner who is unlike us in order to grow. You also have to bear in mind that you aren't just your sun sign. You have 10 planets and nodes and points and asteroids that are hitting their planets and nodes and points and asteroids. Some of these energies will be compatible with your partner and some won't. The best thing to do on the compatibility issue is to come in for something called a chart synastry, where we put one chart on top of the other and we look at everything that's going on with just the two of you. Why are the late degrees of a sign considered to be more powerful than the early degrees? There's an evolutionary principle that permeates every aspect of astrology. The zodiac, from simple Aries to complex Pisces, is an evolution. There's an evolution in the houses from the ascendant to the 12th. The cycle of the moon from new to full and back to new brings a chance for psychological evolution each month. The degrees of a sign are generally viewed in the same way. The early degrees are considered less mature than the later degrees. There seems to be some truth in this idea, especially when you look at it from one particular perspective. The planet in your chart that occupies the latest degree out of all of them does seem to hold a special power. I call this planet the orchestra director because it seems to be running the show. Some charts' latest degree planet might sit at 11 degrees of a sign, and another person's latest degree might be 29. But either way, the latest degree planet has the highest ranking and appears to be pulling strings. What is a Pluto generation? Pluto has an elliptical orbit, so it spends varying amounts of time in each sign. It's in Scorpio for 12 years, but stays in Taurus for 31. It averages roughly 20 years, so it's called a generational influence. Many millions of people are born and grow up, and there are hundreds of significant events that occur to shape the masses. Pluto stamps an entire generation with particular ideas and attitudes. People born during Pluto in Cancer were concerned in true Cancer style about the basics: family, country, and security. They lived in unhappy marriages just to keep the family together and so the neighbors wouldn't talk. They were the generation that went through the poverty of the Great Depression and had the national clannishness that was required to fight World War II. There was little in the way of any societal enlightenment because that's not Cancer's strong suit. So many groups still didn't have rights, and Japanese citizens were thrown into internment camps. Pluto's stay in the sign of the crab brought a generation that was focused on the instinctual. Now, on the heels of Pluto in Cancer came Pluto in Leo. This group became known as the me generation. Forget the family and the country. What do I think? What do I want? How do I express myself? What about my rights? They were the ones who started divorcing because marriage wasn't worth being so unhappy. And they went to analysis because what they thought really mattered. The children of Pluto in Leo, the Pluto in Virgos, had a very different experience and came away with very different ideas. But I'll go into this more deeply when I'm covering Pluto. How did your move to Texas go? I'm settled in Houston. Thank you for the inquiry. There's a little nip in the air, and I installed a pet door in the window so Nightshade and Jet can crawl out on the roof. They're loving it here, and their seal of approval is good enough for me. You know, I was living in a town of just 100,000 in southern New Mexico, and The truth is, I was getting bored because it was so damn dead. I actually grew up here from the ages of 10 to 35, so I know this city inside out. I went to a seminar at the Ramada. I went to a full moon meditation in Leo. I went to the metaphysical bookstore where I ran into an old friend, and let's just say we started collaborating again. Let me close while this is still G-rated. Thank you for watching Secrets from an Astrologer's Desk, Cosmic Questions and Answers number 8. I'm Joy. More videos to come.